In today's episode, don't schedule anything for your job? Roger. Boss tells me I'm not a manager, so I stopped doing her job. Parent says it's not our business what her son does on the community garden, so we let him get up to his neck in shit, literally. So let's get started. Don't schedule anything for your job? Roger. While I usually work in the structural engineering side of our enterprise, occasionally I will assist with some of the generic civil projects. We are a design-build company, exactly what it sounds like. I have been working with a project manager who has been with the company since its founding nearly 30 years ago. We will refer to him as Rob for this story. Important note, this project takes place near Fairbanks, Alaska. Well, about 2 weeks ago, Rob asked me to look into what it would take to get a 40-yard bin dropped off on site for scrap metal from an old tank that was being demoed. He said we want the bin to arrive on Monday, so Monday last week. I get scrap pricing as well as a drop-off schedule through a local scrap yard, and inform Rob of the scrap price and mention that the delivery has been scheduled. Fast forward to that Monday, and I get a call from Rob, and he is just screaming, cursing, and chewing my ass out for scheduling the delivery of this bin. He says I told you to look into it, not to schedule it. Well, to me that means schedule it, and I pointed out that I informed him via email that the bin would be dropped off. Rob then says I don't care what the other PMs have you do, nobody schedules any delivery to my job but me. Alright, fine. I can do that. I send him an email which says something along the lines of I understood from our conversation this morning that in the future, I will not schedule any delivery for your projects. Is this correct? That evening, a one-word response, yes. Last Wednesday I get a call from the company which will be supplying the crane for our project. They inform me that they would like to get the 60RT crane, pretty decent size, delivered to the job site on Friday. I tell them that I cannot confirm that delivery, and that I will need to get Rob in touch with them. I am informed that we need to get this handled ASAP, because we are getting close to the delivery window. For those unaware, I assume most everyone as I didn't know this until the conversation, there is a time in the late spring in parts of Alaska where delivery of loads over a certain weight are not allowed due to the damage that the load will do to the roadways with subgrades that are recently unfrozen. Apparently this window changes from year to year, but is in place starting this week. You can still transport heavy loads, but it takes additional permitting, and has a fee, much like normal oversized loads. I call Rob and leave a voicemail him that he needs to call back. Our crane supplier needs confirmation for delivery on Friday. I follow up with an email. I did not hear back on Wednesday, so I repeated the procedure on Thursday morning, again with no answer to either call or voicemail. On Thursday right before I head out, I email Rob and CC our VP who heads all installation projects, telling Rob that the crane supplier needs an answer immediately, and that I have been trying to reach Rob since Wednesday to confirm this, as I have been informed that I am not to schedule deliveries for your project. Well, that got the ball rolling. Rob calls me in the morning on Friday and tells me to get the crane here today. I call the crane guys and they inform me that there is no way that we can get the crane in that day, and that it will have to come in on Monday during the restricted delivery window. I end up transferring the crane supplier to our VP, because I am not about to approve the additional price of this delivery, and the VP handles it. VP is a cool guy, he is a bit annoyed with me, but I forwarded him the email confirming that I am not allowed to get deliveries scheduled, and he is completely off my back about it. Sounds like we are out about $10,000 due to the additional charges for this delivery, and guess who is allowed to schedule deliveries again? I should note that the owner is in the office every day, and he is not the kind of guy to take lightly to the fact that he is out 10 grand because someone lost his cool about something stupid. Boss tells me I'm not a manager, so I stopped doing her job. For background, I work in mental health and substance use services. I have worked in my job for a long time now. My boss is never available for help and hardly on site. Recently she has got a new manager who is not impressed with her work ethic, but then lockdown happened and he had to shield. She has gone straight back to her old ways. Boss will often ask me to do her work for her to save her coming, in which I have never minded doing up until recently. I had a meeting with my boss after an incident at work where someone tried to assault me. I told my boss I didn't feel supported by her after it had happened, as she wasn't present and didn't manage it well afterwards. In the middle of the meeting, boss says, perhaps you want to consider some easier work in a different department? Me, what, why? Boss, well, you do take on a lot of extra work that you don't need to. A lot of this work is managers' jobs. Maybe you need to learn to say no to taking on all this work? I asked if there was something wrong with my standard of work, if she had concerns, etc., and she says no. 3 months down the line, 4 of the team leave, and they get new people in. Boss, OOP, can you induct new starters on their first day? Me, sorry boss, that's a manager's job. Boss, can you complete fire risk assessment? Me, sorry boss, that's a manager's job. After a while she stops asking me things, then one day she's working from home. I'm pretty sure she has been telling her manager she's on site throughout lockdown, but mostly isn't. Huge incident kicks off with residents, emergency services are called, etc. I call boss and explain to her what happened. Boss, OP, can you please do follow up with commissioning body, staff and residents involved and write the report, send it all directly to me please? Me, sorry boss, you will need to come in to manage this. I'm not a manager, that's not my job. Boss, just this once please? I refused to manage the incident. Turned out she was visiting a friend who lived at the coast whilst she was meant to be on site. Someone accidentally let slip to her manager when he called in the incident, and there was no one to manage. He asked me to deal with the incident. I explained I couldn't and that boss had reported me as taking on too much work to OH. A full investigation has been launched into her conduct and ability to do her job. Manager now talks to me directly and supervises me. He is helping me apply for a promotion. Boss is on leave, pending investigation. Parent says it's not our business what her son does on the community garden, so we let him get up to his neck in shit, literally. Happened just a couple of hours ago. This story is so fresh you can still smell it. On our community garden we get teams of kids from the local school come to help, and it's often the case that they turn up on a Saturday morning as well. They're almost entirely well behaved, which is a good job, as there's not a lot we can do about bad behavior beyond a stern voice. Although one time a lad kicked one of our rabbits so a girl brained him with a shovel, rough but effective justice. There's this one lad who came for the first time last week, don't know him, but we made him very welcome. He only lasted half an hour before storming off in tears after his third telling off for spinning round and round holding a tool, and then letting it fly off at head height. This morning his mum, I assume, came with him. I saw him point out my friend and me, but he didn't ask to join, and so after shouting hello we let them be. After about 10 minutes he started wandering and my friend shouted to him, don't go round behind the greenhouse mate, it's not safe round there. Well, his mum had obviously been waiting for this because she went 0 to 102 seconds flat, demanding to know, do we own this garden, and if not, what business is it of ours where her son goes? We explained we just want him to be safe, and she replied that she's quite capable of taking care of that herself, thank you. Fine, on you go. Off he went, exploring behind the greenhouse, which is not safe because it's the compost heap, which is very unstable, and the muck mound, which is a giant pile of horse manure we get delivered every autumn. By the spring the inside is all nice and rotted down, and the outside is hard, crusty, and less strong than you think. After a minute there was a crunch, a squeal. And I think we did very well to drag him out without saying I told you so or breaking into guffaws. He was absolutely black from chest height downwards, and although well-rotted manure doesn't smell really bad, it is very thick, and sticky and slimy. His mum grabbed him without a word and they headed for the gate. He started bawling as soon as the surprise wore off. My friend said, would you like some bin bags to spread out in your car, and to her credit she did say thanks when he handed them over. I wonder if we'll see them again next week. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.